Hello, and welcome to another episode of Turning Sparkly Cardboard Sideways. My name's Jimmy. Bancroft is behind the camera. And right here will be my personal phone number, 859-279-2405. If you have any questions, concerns, critiques on any deck profile or battles we post, please feel free to send me a message. Or if you just want to say hi or share some of your deck tech, deck list ideas, please send me a message and I'll try to reply as quickly as possible. Thank you.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack on Protection. Today I, Bancroft, will be going over our Lord Slug deck, which has been a pretty fun deck to play lately. I just picked it up just because I'm trying to switch it out, either with older leader cards that we used to play, or newer ones I haven't touched yet. Every week, just kind of give a new variety out there. So, like always, if you enjoy our content, hit that like, subscribe button, and also hit that bell as well so you can know when we drop new videos for you as well. Alright, let's get into the deck. Lord Slug. Active Beam. Once per turn, choose one card in your life, add it to your hand. This card gains crit for the duration of the turn, which is pretty awesome. And then Awaken, when your life is 4 or less, draw 2 cards. So it's pretty nice. Once Awakened, keep in mind, you lose crit if you Awaken. Alright, Auto. When this card attacks, draw 1 card. Typically, if you have your opponent's hand low enough, you swing this card first, get the draw, they'll probably take it, and then use Activate Main once per turn. Place 1 card from your hand and put it in the drop area. Your opponent chooses 1 card from their hand and place it in the drop area as well. So, if you get your opponent down to no cards in hand, you swing this card, they take it, activate main, they lose that card right afterwards. Kind of the go-to. Alright, that's the leader. Next, we're going to kind of go into the whole Slug Army package that I play in this deck. So, for the first card, we play 3 of the free play, pretty much. It's a blocker. As long as you have a Lord Slug card in your battle area or your leader area, you can play this card from your hand without paying its energy cost. Like I said, it's free to play. Next, we got the 4 of the wings. Permanent, you can only have 1 wings on the board in your battle and play in your battle area. And wings also reduces the energy cost of Slug's Army cards in your hand by 1. So it makes everything from here on out cheaper to play, which is pretty nice. Because ideally, once you get wings on the board, your next card to go to is Return to Form for 2 energy, but now, because wings on the board, 1 energy. When you play this card, choose up to 1 Slug's Army from your deck with an energy cost of 4 or less and add it to your hand. Then shuffle your deck afterwards. The go-to card for this one is always going to be the 4-drop Young Again, which I only play 2 just because I don't want to see it, and I had to make room for other things in my deck as well. And typically, if I get 1 in my hand, that's fine early on, because then I'll just grab another Slug Army card and put it in my hand that I need for later play. Speaking of later plays, when you play this card, as long as you have Bond 2, which in this case, as long as you have 2 or more Slug Army cards in your battle area, when you play this card, if your leader card is Slug Army, choose up to 1 Slug Army in your drop area with an energy cost of 3 or less and play it. Then choose up to 1 of your energies and switch it to Activate. And as long as wings is on the board, this is a 3-drop for you. You place on turn 3, then resend 1 of your energies to play something else afterwards if you want to. Our next go-to is the target for this card. The 3-drop, I always mess his name, Angela, I think his name is. Alright, so naturally this card has crit, which is pretty awesome. But the auto Bond 2 is even better. When this card attacks, if your leader card is Slug's Army, your opponent chooses 1 card from their hand and places it into the drop area. So not only they're losing a card just for the swing alone on this one, but if they can't do anything about it, they're taking a crit. And a lot of times people will try to negate this one, which is fine. They have to lose a card regardless and then negate. So they're losing 2 cards from hand, which is pretty awesome. The other option you could pull, I play the Agent of Destruction, Lord Slug. When you play this card, your opponent chooses 1 card from their hand, place it in the drop area. I mean, that's nice as well. So, 2 more ways of just kind of getting rid of cards in your opponent's hands. But Activate Main once per turn for 1 green energy. Choose up to 1 Slug's Army card from your hand with energy costs of 3 or less, and other than this one, and play it. For 2 energy, if you have wings on the board and you play this card, on your next turn, you could play that card for 1 energy, because he has 3 energy in your hand while wings is on the board. So, ideally, wings turn 1, turn 2, leave him on the board, don't swing, you don't want your opponents to hit this one at all. Then on your turn 3, for 1 energy, you can play that, and then use his effect to play that from your drop. and he restands the energy after that too. So you're 3 more energy to do whatever it is you need to do, which is an amazing. Unfortunately, I haven't had the opportunity for that to occur yet. If I wanted to make this one probably more Slug's Army heavy, I could probably get that pulled off. But because we have to worry about other things in the meta, I had to kind of tweak my deck. So, what other things I play? Well, let's go into the overwhelm first. Dark Temptation Toa. Overwhelm 3. Auto. When you play this card using Overwhelm, if your leader card is green or yellow, choose one of your leader cards and it gains 5,000 power for duration of turn. And your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and places in the drop area. So, if I'm not awakened and it has crit, that's 15 crit, which is pretty cool. Just pointing it out there. Alright. Now, with these last 3 cards, including the leader as well, who has the ability of just dropping your opponent's cards from their hands, I play Son Goku Power of Legends. Crit unique. If your leader card is green, when one of your card skills makes an opponent discard a card, you may play this card from your hand, which is, there you go. It's another free battle card to play on the board. Alright, now Activate Mean. Send this card to its owner's warp. You can't play copies of this card for the turn. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 4 or less and send it to their owners, send it to their warp. So it's a nice way of getting rid of a problem card early on. So that's practically the only 6 black cards I play in this deck. Alright, so for more hand control purposes, we play 3 of the Rubiana. Active main for 2 green energy. If your leader card is green, you send this card from your drop area to your warp. Your opponent chooses 2 cards in their hand and place them in the drop area. If I could pull this combo off on turn 2, then turn 3, go into that. Use that effect to go into that. Go into that. And then I would still have 3 energy to do whatever it is I need to do. I can set up a Rubiana as well on top of that. So, that's pretty awesome. So there's those 3. I also play 3 of the Cell's Earth Destroying Kamehamehas. Activate battle. If your leader card is green, choose up to one of your leader cards or battle cards, and it gets plus 15,000 power for a duration of the battle. That's pretty nice. It could be definitely a very strong offensive play or a defensive play. But if all your energy is green, when you activate this card, choose one card in your opponent's hand and place it in the drop area. So it's not revealed, but it's definitely, I get kind of, maybe they're favoring the left side more. Cool, I'll pull a card from the left side. Always having a choice, I like. Granted, typically giving your opponent a choice makes things a little bit easier. Next, we play our super combos. I chose to go 2 of the Vegeta, the Lone Prince, because this is also another one for 1 energy. My opponent has to discard a card, and if my life is 4 or less, I could combo it for the normal super combo benefits. I also chose to go 2 of the Paragus super combos because getting more cards is always better, especially in a deck that requires you, my leader, I lose a card with its effect. So, draw 2, warp 1. I like those options. Alright. Now, for more protection plays, I play 2 of the Kakusei. Hopefully I said that right. Counterattack, negate the attack, then play this card. Permanent, if your leader card is green and it's your opponent's turn, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 2, which is pretty nice. Then, auto, when you play this card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. That's it. Doesn't matter what it is, as long as it doesn't have barrier and it can be KO'd, it's getting KO'd. And then we also go with 3 of the Dormant Potential Unleash. Counterattack, if your leader card is mono green, choose any number of your opponent's battle cards that add up to a total energy cost of 2 or less. KO them. Additionally, you may choose 1 green card in your hand. Discard it. If you do, your opponent can only attack 1 more time. So that's pretty nice. And permanent, if you have a green Unison in play, you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand without paying the energy cost, which is nice. And since I mentioned it, yes, I do play Unison. I chose to go with Demograph because it is one of the quickest Unisons for green that comes out on the board, and it can immediately be 2 markers, which is phenomenal. And if they want to hit into my Demograph, fine. If it's early enough, I'll just take the life instead. Leave it as is. And any attack that goes to my Unison, I prefer. The only reason why I chose not to go with the Bardock option in this deck is because I don't play enough 1-drops to benefit playing it. If I want more, maybe towards a crit central deck, I could play like 4 of the Gohans and throw some of the Hasty Dispos in there to kind of recycle them back to the field and throw a couple of those Piccolos in as well. But I just don't play enough 1-drops to benefit that Bardock card. Alright, next, because of the Unison, we play obviously 4 of the Counterplay freezes. Counterplay, you can't activate Counterplay skills of other cards for the turn. Play this card from your hand. Alright, when you have a green Unison with 2 or more markers in play, you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand without paying its energy cost. Auto. When this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 7 or less and KO it. So just like the Kakunsa, it's a get rid of a battle card when it's played, which is pretty nice. So if practically flooding the board while removing my opponent's hand isn't enough, I chose to go with 1 of the 5-drop Rubiana. Triple Strike, permanent. If your leader card is green, this card is in rest mode. Your opponent can only attack this card. So if it gets this card on the board and I swing with it, then my opponent has to kill this card before they can go into my leader, which is pretty nice for a defensive play. But typically, if I get this card on the board, I'm going full game. Auto. When you play this card from your hand, choose all of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and KO them. There you go. Auto. When this card is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill or KO'd, choose up to 1 green battle card of energy cost of 4 or less in your drop area. Play it with its skills and get it for turn. So it helps you get another card on the board for future use. That's pretty nice. The next card also requires 5 energy, or I can just combo it off, which is the secret rare. The Grade 8 Mass Saiyan. If your leader card is mono green and you remove this card from your combo area from the game, when this card is used in the combo, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and KO it. So it'll pretty much stop anything. We had over our this past week in our tournament. I revealed my hand. He saw the negate Kakunsa, and he saw this one. He chose to get rid of the negate one. And then he went to go to attack, and he went all out because he completely forgot how that card worked. And I was like, cool, you comboed up to what, 80,000? Combo, auto, killed the battle card. But if you were to pay the 5 green energy, activate main for 5 green energy, play this card from your hand. And it gains dual attack and triple strike for a turn. That's pretty nice. Just leave it as that. And then the last card, you've all seen Jimmy's profiles. He typically plays the secret rare card, which is like the rarest of all cards. Unfortunately, I have just the basic version of that, which is the English version, Furthering Destruction Champa. It's not the French version, so that's why it's just the basic version. So, but combo with it gives a card double strike. Well, attacking card double strike. Giving that to my leader when it has crit on the front side early on is pretty nice. Give it to any other battle card that has crit, or just kind of go for an extra 10,000 plus 10,000 power with the 2 damage hit. If your opponent has 2 life, is always nice as well. So that is Lord Slug, which lately has been pretty fun to play. I really enjoyed it, and I would definitely love any feedback you all have for this deck as well. So put it in the comments down below. Unfortunately, because we're currently mainly just doing best of ones at our locals, I don't really have a side deck for us right now for this one. But apparently it's becoming a thing that some of our players are starting to throw out side decks. So look forward to those more and more often. But that covers today's video. Like always, hit that like, subscribe button. Thank you for tuning in. And like always, read your cards, know your plays, fluff out.